Every 4 years, the world changes. Streets fall silent, work stops, flags rise, and somewhere in every corner of the planet, someone holds their breath. This isn't just a tournament. It's the World Cup, the crown that every nation wants. It's more than football. It always has been. For the players, it's the ultimate stage. Not for money, not for contracts, but for immortality. A goal in the World Cup isn't just celebrated, it's remembered forever. A trophy lifted doesn't just make you a champion, it turns you into a legend. Maradona in '86, Zidane in '98, Iniesta in 2010, Messi in 2022. They didn't just win, they became part of something eternal. But the World Cup isn't only for those on the field. It belongs to everyone. To the fans who've waited a lifetime, to the parents who pass down stories like family heirlooms, to children in alleyways pretending they're scoring the winner in the final. This crown unites and divides. It turns cities into battlegrounds and strangers into brothers. For a few weeks, the whole planet speaks one language. To win it is to lift your entire country onto your shoulders. It's not just about playing well, it's about carrying expectation, history, and hope. For Brazil, the crown is tradition. For Argentina, it's soul. For France, legacy. For Senegal, Morocco, Japan, it's the chance to break through and shatter everything we thought we knew. This trophy doesn't care how big your country is. It doesn't care how much your players earn. All it asks is one question: how far are you willing to go? Every player who walks onto that pitch is fighting for more than a result. They're fighting for history, for identity, for a place among the chosen few. And at the end of it all, there's only one prize, one crown, one nation that gets to wake up as champions of the world. It's heavy, it's golden, it's everything, and that's why they all want it. At the top of the mountain, the air is thin, and the company is elite. A few nations know what it means to wear the crown. They've held it, they've defended it, they've felt the weight of a nation's dream turned into gold. France sits among the elite with quiet confidence and a squad built like a dynasty. They won in 2018, came within inches of repeating in 2022, and show no signs of slowing down. With Kylian Mbappe leading the charge, they don't just play, they overwhelm. Fast, fluid, and ruthless. Then there's Argentina, champions of the heart, the story, the emotion. Their 2022 triumph wasn't just a victory, it was a fairy tale. Messi's final act, sealed with the one trophy that had always eluded him. But this team isn't fading with him. A new generation, tough, talented, and tested, is already preparing to defend their title. And the world knows, never underestimate Argentina when they believe. Brazil, the eternal giants, carry a legacy unmatched. 5 World Cups and a style that defines the soul of the game. But it's been over 2 decades since they last lifted the trophy. That hunger is back, and this new generation, it's electric. Vinicius Jr. brings the flair, the midfield brings the control, the pressure brings out the best or breaks everything. But the Kings are never alone. The rivals are sharpening their swords. England, with a squad full of youth and experience, are no longer just hopeful, they're dangerous. They've come close, felt the sting, and grown from it. The ghosts of past failures fuel them now. Portugal, once a team built around one man, now boasts a deep, balanced squad that can play beautiful football and grind out wins. They're evolving, and that makes them lethal. Spain and the Netherlands, both former champions, are quietly rebuilding legacies. They're not here for the group stages, they're coming for the final. The Kings may hold the throne for now, but this war is far from over. The challengers are faster, smarter, and hungrier than ever. One mistake, one moment, one goal, and the crown will change hands again. Because in the World Cup, nothing is given. Everything is taken. There's a storm building beneath the usual giants. A new wave of contenders, knocking louder with every tournament. These nations aren't chasing fairy tales anymore. They're building empires of their own. And when the next World Cup arrives, they won't be underdogs. They'll be threats. England has spent decades walking the line between expectation and heartbreak, but something is different now. Their squad is young, fearless, and battle-tested. They've made deep runs, a semi-final in 2018, a final in Euro 2020, and that pain has shaped them. Jude Bellingham is leading a new generation that doesn't care about ghosts. With talents like Saka, Foden, and Kane around him, England has the pieces. Now, it's about the finish. Portugal, once dependent on the brilliance of Cristiano Ronaldo, now look more complete than ever. They've transitioned from a one-man show to a symphony. Bruno Fernandes pulls the strings, João Felix brings the spark, Rafael Leão adds chaos, and their defense is solid, experienced, unshaken. The Netherlands have always been close, so close it almost hurts. Three-time finalists, masters of total football. But now, they're rewriting their script. Less romance, more results. Virgil van Dijk anchors the back, while players like Cody Gakpo and Xavi Simons offer the creativity and pace to change games in a heartbeat. They've grown sharper, smarter, and more ruthless. And then there's Spain. The golden era of tiki-taka may be gone, but something fresh is growing in its place. Pedri and Gavi, barely out of their teens, are already controlling midfields like veterans. Spain is moving faster, playing more directly, and taking risks again. They're evolving, and that makes them unpredictable. These four nations are not content with close. They're done being respected. They want to be feared. They've tasted potential. Now they want the prize. Each one has the talent, the structure, and the belief. But more than that, they carry momentum. And in the World Cup, momentum is everything. The Giants may still cast long shadows, but these teams are no longer standing in them. They're stepping into the light, ready to challenge, ready to conquer. They're not asking if it's their time. They're ready to take it. Every World Cup writes a surprise into its script. A team no one counted on, rising from the shadows to challenge the giants. These are the dark horses, the ones that make the tournament unforgettable. But in this era, they're not just surprises. They're serious contenders. And they're coming fast. Morocco made history in 2022, becoming the first African and Arab nation to reach a World Cup semifinal. But it wasn't luck, it was fight, passion, organization. They took down giants, Spain, Portugal, not with stars, but with belief and discipline. And now, with players like Achraf Hakimi and Sofiane Boufal still in their prime, Morocco isn't chasing another miracle, they're chasing the crown. Senegal, the champions of Africa, carry the same fire. In 2022, they fought with heart despite missing their talisman, Sadio Mane. With him back, and a squad full of rising stars like Ismaila Sarr and Pape Matar Sarr, they're dangerous, fast. Japan has quietly become one of the most disciplined and technically sharp teams in the world. In Qatar, they stunned Germany and Spain, not just by winning, but by outplaying them. Their style is fast, direct, and clean. And their mentality, ruthless. They don't celebrate status, they chase progress. The United States are building, growing, and evolving. For years, they lacked depth and experience. Not anymore. This generation, Pulisic, McKennie, Musa, Reyna, is fearless, young, and hungry. With a home World Cup in 2026, their motivation is sky high. Then there's Croatia, a nation that continues to defy the odds. Finalists in 2018, semi-finalists in 2022, and still, people underestimate them. Luka Modric might be nearing the end, but the torch is being passed. Joško Gvardiol, Lovro Majer, Luka Sučić, the next wave is ready. And don't forget Germany, a fallen giant, once feared, now rebuilding. But sleeping giants don't sleep forever. Jamal Musiala is a star in the making. The talent is there. The pride is still alive. They've failed. They've been humbled. But that only makes them more dangerous. These teams don't carry the weight of history. They carry the hunger to make it. They don't just want to be remembered, they want to shock the world again. Stars who could change everything. Kylian Mbappe has already done it. A world champion at 19, a golden boot winner by 23. He isn't just fast, he's fearless. The kind of player who doesn't wait for the game to come to him. He takes it. France will look to him again, and the world will watch, knowing he can decide a match in a blink. Vinicius Jr. is Brazil's next superstar. Blistering pace, electric feet, and a flair that brings back memories of Ronaldinho. He plays with joy and intent, and now he's pairing that creativity with consistency. He could be the face of Brazil's 6th World Cup, if he wants it badly enough. Jude Bellingham is England's heartbeat. Strong, composed, and mature beyond his years, he doesn't just play, he controls. He dictates the rhythm, rises in the big moments, and leads with the kind of fire you can't teach. If England's golden generation is to finally deliver, Bellingham will be at the center of it. Then there's Jamal Musiala, Germany's soft-footed magician. He glides across the pitch like he's floating, carving up defenses with ease. He's still young, still raw, but when he's on, he's unplayable. He could be the spark that pulls Germany back into the spotlight. In 2014, it was James Rodriguez. In 2018, it was Luka Modric's late career brilliance. In 2022, it was Josko Gvardiol and the emergence of Enzo Fernandez. This time, watch Lamine Yamal, Spain's teenage prodigy with the eyes of a veteran. Watch Xavi Simons from the Netherlands, fast, technical, and ready for the big stage. Keep an eye on Mohamed Kudus of Ghana, who plays like every game is personal. And don't be surprised if someone we've never heard of yet takes the world by storm. These are the players who don't just influence games, they rewrite scripts. They can change the mood of a nation with a goal, a pass, a moment of genius. Every 4 years, the question returns. It echoes through stadiums, whispers through streets, and burns in the hearts of billions. Who will win the World Cup? We make predictions, we look at squads, form, tactics, momentum. We weigh experience against youth, talent against teamwork. On paper, some teams shine brighter. Every match is a story waiting to explode. A goal, a red card, a slip on the turf that changes everything. A hero is born, a heart breaks. It's chaos in its most beautiful form. Maybe France lifts it again, powered by Mbappe and a team that knows how to win under pressure. Maybe Argentina repeats the miracle, proving that belief is stronger than doubt. Maybe Brazil dances their way back to glory, reclaiming what their nation lives for. Or maybe it's England finally breaking free from the weight of history. Maybe it's Portugal writing a new era without Ronaldo at the center. Maybe it's Spain or the Netherlands, teams who've waited long enough to stop hoping and start taking. But don't count out the wild cards. Morocco, hungry and fearless, Senegal, powerful and unified, Japan, efficient and relentless, Croatia, always just one step away from rewriting destiny, Germany, a sleeping giant ready to rise again. The truth is, no one knows. That's why the World Cup is magic. It's not just about who's best, it's about who steps up when it matters most. So who will win the World Cup? Maybe the favorite, maybe the fearless, maybe the forgotten. But until the final whistle blows, until one captain lifts the crown above his head and a nation explodes in celebration, we can only wonder and hope. That's the power of this game. That's why we watch. That's why we wait. Because in the end, football doesn't give answers. It gives moments. And one of them will change everything.